loading.
Boom, baby, we're live. Welcome to Tokyo Crypto Show, episode 146. We're talking millions with meme coins. You may think we are crazy, but I assure you, this team here, we have been working together consistently since December of 2023. A lot of us have physically met up. I think I've met with everybody on the screen except for Elias. And the only person I went to strip club with was James. But it was a great time in Manila. Multiple strip clubs, multiple locations. Actually, we went to one in. Did we go to one in Bangkok too?
No, that was I got there too late for that one. Me and Andrew did. I think you were kind of under the weather when I got there.
We just want to let you guys know that we're the finest researchers on the planet. But all that aside, honestly speaking, meme coins are the new meta, and we were kind of hip to this in December, and it wasn't until a guy that he's now known, he's reluctantly known as Meme Coin Jesus, Murad, he came out and he made a huge presentation at Singapore 2049, and he was talking about the upcoming revolution with the meme coin mania. And here's the bottom line that nobody wants to tell you, but we'll tell you this right here. Okay. Crypto is not this, we are all going to make it, everybody's going to the moon utopia that they would like you to believe. The bottom line about crypto is this: in order for you to make money, someone else has to lose money down the road, period. Unless something goes infinitely up. And the reality is, literally 99% of all cryptocurrency coins are a scam. Okay, 99%. That is not an exaggeration. So you really need to know exactly what you're doing with your coins, what you're doing with your investment plan, and how you can make money moving forward. So we're going to cover all that today. I'm going to go in depth explaining why you can make literal millions with meme coins. We know people who have done it on this panel. Like we know people who are not on this panel who have made millions with meme coins. And we're going to just go into great depth here and talk about exactly what's going on with the entire market. Guys, welcome to the show. How's everybody doing today?
Pretty phenomenal.
Let's just go right into it. Alex, we've had quite some interesting weeks regarding to Bitcoin. Please take it.
Bitcoin is looking fabulous. We still have not broken the lower high structure. However, we have had our first day 45 high, so first right translated cycle. And I'm not sure if my camera is mirroring me or not, but so I might be going the other way. But
it's just
basically,
we can't see. It's just full screen.
Oh, well, basically, 60-day cycle. We all sort of know it's not exactly 60 days, but basically it's sort of a generic structure that we can apply to Bitcoin that helps us see where we might have a high, where we might have a low. So as far as left translated goes, it means in the first half, so before day 30, we get a high. And that indicates that by the time we get to day 60, we'll probably be lower than when we started the 60-day cycle. So we have had, as you can see on this weekly chart here, a consistent run of Bitcoin going lower, going lower, going lower. And that's because it's peaking early on and then moving lower. Peaking early on, moving lower, peaking early on. So although we haven't crossed this high here, we haven't broken this structure of lower highs, we have had a right translated cycle. Now, that's really important because when all of a sudden the structure changes, that indicates that something is happening now. We're no longer going down. We're now sort of, a bit sideways, a bit up. We're a bit no man's land. And that's why we've been talking consistently, if you go through all the previous episodes, about how Q4, we're either launching or we're completing the final sort of pack your bags because it's going to blow up in 2025. We know that we're nowhere near a top because no one's talking about sort of crypto in general. If you look at the Google Trends, as Elias was pointing out and Adham was, the Google Trends for staking, mining, the word crypto, the word Bitcoin, they're not at the levels we saw in 2021. Nowhere near. If you open the paper, you're probably not going to see any sort of, I certainly am not, across all of the different publications, nothing crypto related. So no one's talking about it. However, structurally, we're looking at the convergence of many different things from a time perspective, from a price perspective, from the election coming up, where from the 4-year cycle, we're looking at Bitcoin ready to rock and roll, yet no one's talking about it. So that's a really good sign. That indicates that we are nowhere near a top, that we haven't even really gotten started. So earlier this week, and once again, I love these lines. These lines are fabulous. Basically, they're drawn price and time, and they're different angles. So the 1x1 line is a 45-degree angle, and then it sort of passes out from there. And we can see from this major top here in March, we came down and we perfectly just, French chef's kiss, 69,501. What we wanted to see to be uber bullish was a break of this $70,000 level. We didn't get that, but that's all right. We came to a logical spot, and very quickly we shot back all the way back down. This is just this week. And now we're kind of moving around here. So this sort of, we might continue for another couple of weeks high. I would get rid of that. Let's forget about that. Now we're looking at the most likely scenario being a low that coincides with the US election. So expect a lot of uncertainty that week and maybe a little bit of volatility. And that volatility will probably give us this last low. And I've just indicated here on the chart where a logical spot would be. It's about 64.5 or 58.5. So if we were to go all the way this down here, there would be absolutely no reason to panic. In fact, that would be a good buy signal because we're expecting volatility, we're expecting a low. If we were to fly all the way down here and we're sitting there losing 53 and flying all the way down here, then all of a sudden everything's changed. But this is such an unlikely scenario at this point that I haven't even bothered to write on the chart, to be perfectly honest. So although Bitcoin is coming down a little bit, it's a few $1,000s down in the last couple of days, this is all expected stuff. So I'm feeling quite good about it. I would say you should be feeling quite good about it too. If we look to our good friend Ethereum, we brought up Ethereum last week and talking about how it just hasn't been performing in the way we wanted it to. How we're kind of below now lows. We're still sort of, if you go all the way back here, but it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good.
It shouldn't be performing like this in a bull market. Exactly.
And we look at something like Ethereum, Solana versus Ethereum, and we're breaking all highs on that. And if we look at Solana versus Bitcoin, Solana is outpacing Bitcoin. So this is not to say that Ethereum won't have some like go-go juice in it. Not to say it won't make money compared to USD. It's just that it's probably going to underperform. And it's probably going to underperform Bitcoin and definitely Solana. So earlier this week, I actually cut the majority of all my Ethereum and moved it into Bitcoin and Solana. I left a little bit of a bag, but I'm thinking maybe don't even worry about that and just move the rest across. Because when it comes to crypto, you really want to ride your winners and you really want to cut the losses. So we'll be talking about meme coins a little bit later and how, like, in the 99% of crypto, that is all just absolute bullshit. The same goes for meme coins. And even more so, 99.99999%, because there's tens of thousands being launched every single freaking day. And so in the same way, you want to ride the winners. You want to find the ones that are consistently performing well and just stick with those. Because if you, as we say every week, if it's not going to outpace Bitcoin, then you might as well just have Bitcoin. So when it comes to where we're positioned for Bitcoin in the short term, we're probably expecting some down action now. Nothing crazy, nothing to freak out about. Any lows down at 64.5 or 58.5 around the election time should be seen as a really good point to buy up if you've got any spare capital left. Because we are looking, and I'll bring up some charts from Bob in just a second from an update today. But basically, we were looking at if we break $70,000 now in this cycle, then it's launch time. We haven't done that. So that would tell us that we may have a whole nother 60 days, which would take us all the way to the end of December, like Christmas time, a whole nother 60 days for us to just sort of chill out and weave about before we finally kick off into 2025. An interesting thing as well, tax-wise in the US, especially when it comes to things like ETFs, your tax time is the 1st of January. In Australia, it's very different. It's 1st of July. So there might be some,
the fiscal year ends in July 1st.
In Australia, it does, but
Oh
not
wow.
not for most countries. So most people do it all at the end of the year. So that's why a lot of the time you might see a bit of volatility when it comes to Christmas time.
In Japan and Asia, mostly it's April 1st. It's
Oh,
the
really?
fiscal. Yes, fiscal new year.
What a joke. So yes, well, I guess that would just come down to what market. So because we've got the ETFs and they're primarily all American, you probably have the expectation that there might be something going on there. At this stage, I'm just pulling potential reasons, potential things that might make sense of why the end of the year before we launch. But at this currently, and once again, I say it every single week, the bull market thesis is still valid. It is still looking good. So it's all looking actually quite positive from a Bitcoin perspective. Ethereum is performing. Solana's doing really well.
Beautiful. Let's go to Elias next. Elias, if you could just give us a perspective from the mining side of things. You said that you're seeing transaction fees go up. You're seeing transaction volume going up. And that was a pretty bullish indicator on your end. We'll put your screen up right there and take it away. You're muted, buddy.
Sorry. Basically, what we've seen last week was that the transaction fees went up by quite a lot in the Bitcoin network, which is often an indicator of bigger whales and smart money moving in and preparing themselves, getting their Bitcoin ready for a pump, basically. And but those went down again. So most likely they have positioned themselves, but are waiting for the US elections now, in my opinion, because the average transaction fee over the last 1 to 2 days is like $2.50, which is pretty low compared to when people go into full mania or are positioning themselves. And regarding the charts, if we look on the monthly, I basically don't have a lot to add to what Alex just told us. Apart from that, everything on the monthly is still looking really good. And I just expect maybe that we go down again next week. But the overall picture is really good, in my opinion, because last time, since the halving last time, if you can see the mouse cursor here, it took us about 123 days before we got the first like big pump monthly candle. This one right here. And in the next cycle, it was 123 days or even 150 days till we got the first monthly big green monthly candle right here. And now we are already in over 180 days. So from a cycles perspective, we might be a bit late actually, but coinciding with the US election and how Trump is seen as a positive figure for crypto or for Bitcoin, with people expecting a pump if he's elected, and Kamala is quite the opposite. I think that might play into it here a lot, with people just waiting what the election results will be. So they're probably also waiting on doing their buys and want to buy maybe at election night or right before, if the polls are showing that Trump will have a good run. And down here we see the RSI. This is basically a technical analysis tool that gives you a perspective whether the market is overbought or oversold. So if it's high, like here, going into the red, that means a lot of people have been buying, and it's likely overbought. So we are nearing a top. It's only an indicator and a lagging one too, but it gives you a pretty good idea, especially on higher time frames. And if we go down like here at the lows, basically, it suggests that we are oversold, so that a lot of people have sold their positions, and we have a good price for entry if we want to hold the asset, in this case, Bitcoin long term. And what we've seen in the past is that in this area where we are right here, in this yellow area, which we've seen after each halving, and in which we are right now here, that we've been at an RSI of about 60. So the RSI goes basically from 0 to 100. And we've been at 60 here in this area before we started going up exponentially and getting in the overbought zone where the market is hot and we get high prices and exponential price movements. And the next cycle, we got exactly the same, even on the monthly. On the weekly, you see it a bit better, but here we are at around 60. And right now, we are at 64. So this just, at least from a technical perspective, supports the thesis that the cycles will continue and that we are in a pretty good position, ripe for pumping, basically, and just have to wait out the external factors that keep people from investing right now and have them waiting till the election ends and till the year ends. And yep, that's pretty much everything from my side.
Awesome. James, you are the TradFi expert.
Yep.
And you see things from a completely different perspective, which honestly, you are a huge contribution to this group. I don't think you guys realize how smart James is and how much of a massive contributor he is to the group. I mean, everybody here does a great job, but I really think nobody on our team has the intelligence nor experience, because you're like 20 years plus in TradFi industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have all the wisdom. I mean, you have literally generated millions upon millions for your clients, and you are a fucking G in every sense of the word. So without you, we would be lost in the dark on a lot of things, quite frankly. We just so you guys know, behind the scenes, we have a lot of private Zoom calls with our research team. The name of the research team is MLD Crypto Team 6, and Crypto Team 6 would be nothing without James and a massive amount of wisdom, because we will be freaking out, all of us with our crypto brains, like freaking out about a bunch of things. And then James will get on a Zoom call with us and set us straight and be like, this is exactly what's going to happen. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happens every single time. So James, take it away, man. Tell us, what you think.
Yeah. So let me share my screen here. You guys see this?
Yep, full screen.
All right. So one of the big news that came out is there's this guy named Paul Tudor Jones. He is one of the trader on the Wall Street. He runs the Tudor Investment Group, I believe, and he manages somewhere between $15 to $20 billion asset under management, and about $8 billion of it is his own money. So guy is worth about $8 billion. And what he says kind of echo what we've been saying on this podcast is that, hey, the government printing and the debt service and mounting deficit just all leads to inflation. And he's saying that, hey, I'm long on gold, I'm long on Bitcoin, and I think commodities are undervalued. And he said I would have some gold, Bitcoin, commodities, and NASDAQ, i.e. the high-tech, high-risk, high-return stocks. And he said I own zero fixed income, which is bonds, right, or government treasury. So why is he saying that? Well, give credit where it's due. This is from one of the big Bitcoin guys, Anthony Pompliano's Twitter. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
The amount of national debt. It took us over 200 years to reach $12 trillion of the national debt. And it only took us 4 years to double that since 2020. And this is not going anywhere, and this is not slowing down. Even the Congressional Budget Office is saying that, hey, we're about $1.6 trillion in the hole every year, and it's going to go up to about 2.6 in 2034, 10 years from now. So the money printing is not going to stop. And that's where, if you're holding cash or some kind of cash equivalent or fixed income asset, you're going to be falling behind. What you need is an asset that cannot be depreciated by the inflation, right? And even Paul Tudor Jones is saying that, hey, he's coming out and giving us his playbook. It's like, well, I get gold, which is up 30% year to date, and it's going to be probably all-time high soon going into election. I own, sorry guys, I own Bitcoin, and I own some commodities that are undervalued and some high-tech stock, which is kind of going back to what we were saying, that, hey, to keep up with an inflation, you need something that's super inflation hedge, which all these things are inflation hedge. But what we're saying is that Bitcoin is more sensitive, right? Gold has returned about 30% year to date, but Bitcoin, even though it's moving sideways for the last 7 months, has returned over 60% year to date. So, and NASDAQ, I think it was up 50% this year, give or take. So all these things are up because fundamentally it's a counter inflation, right? More they print money, these things go up. And even the billionaire traders are saying that. And this guy is a legend on the Wall Street. He even has a documentary made about him called The Trader. And he made billions during the Black Monday crash in 80s. And they actually made a documentary about this guy, right? So he's a pretty famous guy. And he's telling us, hey, I own Bitcoin. So, I mean, it's incredible that even the smart money on the Wall Street is now telling us that, hey, if you're worried about inflation, and you should be, based on just looking at this alone, that, you should have Bitcoin or maybe some crypto with a Bitcoin, which should be part of your portfolio of investments.
Huh. That 12 trillion, was that under the Biden administration?
Well, I think Trump kicked off some of that because remember the COVID
2020
money printing. Yeah. Right. And what he was saying in some of the interview was that he kind of regrets some of his decisions during his first term, saying that he was new to DC and he appointed some people to the position that he should not have, because he got a lot of the neocons and undercover liberals in some of the spots where he should not have, as well as some of the big pharma, big money people. And supposedly he said he's going to try to watch out for who gets appointed. But then again, a lot of the appointments have to be confirmed by Congress or Senate, right? So I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty. Like Alex said, it's going to be going on here next couple of weeks, and possibly into first quarter next year.
Well, I'm going to build on that too, because just looking at, again, talking about some of the economic policies, pretty insane if you ask me. This is the amount of aid that was sent out to I think this was military aid sent out in fiscal year 2024, $12.5 billion. I think this is just to Israel right here. This is just to Israel, and since 2020. And then if you go to Ukraine, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it says right here, we've sent $64 billion to Ukraine.
And we spent billions for not just the federal government, but federal and state governments and local governments are spending billions for the migrants, right? I mean, yeah. It is ridiculous. I mean,
the spending in Washington is completely out of control, and that is eroding away at the everyday person's dollars. And this is why people are moving into assets like Bitcoin, which is when you really break it down to simplistic terms, I mean, Bitcoin is just a saving technology. It is literally just, if you to put the money into that, it is what it is. I am going to go and say my piece real quick. So real quick, just looking at a couple of things here regarding Bitcoin and the market at hand. This is right here. This is the 24 hours. This is the Mindshare of the token. This is based upon all data on Twitter that's been compiled. So 12% of all Twitter is talking about Bitcoin. Number 2 is Ethereum. Ethereum still has a strong base regardless of its failing tech. And a solid third place has been Solana. And then GOAT is a token we're going to be talking about on today's episode, along with some other meme coins. And then if you just take a look at the narrative Mindshare, this is also tied in to what we're going to be talking about today. AI is the dominant Mindshare, but the reason is because of a meme coin known as GOAT. If you just look at 48 hours, AI has led, and then if you look at 7 days, AI is still ahead, and then 30 days, AI is ahead. I think only in meme coins. I mean, AI has been the leading narrative, but memes have been a solid second place consistently over a 12-month period. There is a lot to be said here moving forward with how you should be allocating your money. Adam, did you want to add anything in for our Bitcoin perspective before we jump into the meat of today's topic?
Sure. Just a quick, adding on to what Alex said. Basically, I'm also tracking the 60-day cycles on my own. And yeah, the good news is that we have a right translate cycle. So this could be the beginning of the long-term bull cycle. Looking back in a couple of months. Short-term, I kind of expect us, if we can hold this line as support, maybe it's a low chance at this point, but we could have another tackle at this price point at 70K, 69K, 70K. But more likely than not, since the cycle is starting to near its end, or its average end time, I would expect more to just range around 65 to 67 where we are now, and then leading up to the election, then the dump that we're kind of expecting to mark the cycle low. Also, especially with all the uncertainty surrounding the US election right now, it wouldn't surprise me if it goes to Alex's low target of 53K, I think you said. Oh, 58?
Yeah, 58. 58.549. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm expecting my personal target is 63, but 58 is still understandable. I would say I wouldn't panic if it got that low.
Good to know. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, in my opinion, what I think is happening right now, I've talked to some people. James and I share a mutual friend he's a mega investor, mega serious guy, and he deals with people who are worth tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. And he says basically the majority of his clients are just on the sidelines, waiting for the election decision to be made. And then historically, if we go back to the Bitcoin prices, per month, in the election years, as well as the halving years, which happen to coincide hand in hand. You can just see here, I'll show you guys real quick. Again, we are currently in October. We are only up 5%. Pretty lackluster October, historically speaking. Actually coming in as the lowest one ever. So it's looking like we are gonna have to see what happens at the election first, guys. If somebody could take this, I have to take a pretty important call. Sorry.
Cool.
Give me one.
Shit, he's gone finally. Let's go present. I'll just show something quickly from Bob today, basically. Just an update he does every couple of weeks or so. And this was just the top line essentially is if Trump wins, the bottom line is essentially if Kamala wins. And in his view, it doesn't matter the election result because we have bigger things at play and just fundamentally, Bitcoin's looking ready to move. And as James was really important to take note, when you have like legendary investor comes out and says Bitcoin's cool, it's often an indicator that they themselves have packed their bag and they're ready to rock and roll. And so they're ready to let the price go up. Well, yeah, when you hear those people start to come out, these little whispers about how, Bitcoin, crypto, that means we're sort of getting to the point where they're ready now to allow things to move and go up. So that's always something to look out for as well.
Yeah, and it was this is a second one of the big name Wall Street guy to say this. First one was Bill Miller, right? The Lake Mason, and he's been beating S&P 500 for like 12 or 15 years. Another billionaire investment manager, and he said half of his personal portfolio is in Bitcoin.
That's crazy.
That is. I mean, is it really crazy though? Because
no. Once you see the math, like we're seeing, and what the writing is on the wall, they're not going to stop printing money. There's no other way to service the national debt other than print more money.
Yeah.
I mean, unless this huge AI push is going to bring in huge growth of productivity, which I doubt. I mean, it's going to grow the productivity somewhat, but not tenfold, right? Or are we going to have U.S. going to have people in U.S. going to start having babies, which I don't see it happening. What else is there? You just kind of fill the gap with the money printing. So it's not going to stop.
And I also think that Bitcoin is extremely valuable for smaller and mid-sized businesses, and even the big ones are getting on the train now, because so bigger investors and many like people that only trade a bit privately might not know that bigger investors, they could just buy Bitcoin, potentially even write it off as a business expense or something they bought, and then they don't actually sell the Bitcoin in most cases, because that would be bad from a tax perspective. They just take it like stock or bonds or whatever, and they lend on it. So they put the Bitcoin as a security to get funding, get a loan from a bank, and use that to invest further into their business. And if Bitcoin keeps going up, and they are expecting, like in stock market terms, in comparison to ETFs, like a really high return on Bitcoin in the next 5 to 10 years, why wouldn't they just buy some and use it to get funding later?
Yeah, what they did was change the rules, right? When you buy something like Bitcoin, you have to put it on your balance sheet as company, and that has to be marked a certain value, because your balance sheet have to balance, right? Every time you issue your financial statements. And what used to be the old accounting FASB rule was that Bitcoin had to be put on your balance sheet at a purchase price. So let's say you bought Bitcoin 20 years ago, and it would have been, marked that you have 1,000 Bitcoin on your balance sheet that was worth $1 a Bitcoin, and that's $1,000, right? So imagine that you bought it 20 years ago for $1,000, and still on your books as a $1 a Bitcoin, right?
Okay.
But now they said, no, you can record Bitcoin or your crypto holding, I think maybe just Bitcoin, but at the market value. So though $1,000 for one Bitcoin or 1,000 Bitcoins at $1 20 years ago now can be recorded at $67,000 at 1,000 Bitcoins. Think about that. When you just went from $1,000 to $67 million extra on your balance sheet, right? I mean, that was a huge accounting change that crypto industry and Michael Saylor talked about, was one of the stepping stones that has to be there in order for Bitcoin to get its institutional adoption, right? And that was actually released earlier this year. The FASB changed that accounting rule. And that was kind of slipped under the radar of a lot of the crypto degen people, because, the memes, right?
Well, yeah,
But,
we're going to talk about that too, because that really ties into the majority of the people investing in crypto. The reality is this: the majority of people who are investing in crypto, they're not investing, they're gambling. That's cryptocurrency is a gigantic gamble. And guys, apologies for, I just had an important delivery. They didn't have my room number, so I needed to answer that because there's an important package coming my way. But going back to this real quick, if you just look at the historical returns here, historically speaking, you know, they have been, if you look here, I'm just going to make it full screen for everybody at home. So if you take a look at my cursor, all right, we're going to start here. We're here right now. We had a good September. We're doing okay in October. But if you look at 2020, October was, and that was when the President Biden got into office, you know, illegitimately, but it is what it is. He got into office, and then we had a massive closeout, right? Now, also, we were locked down, and people did have a lot of money from C-19 stimulus, okay? And then, but 2016, when Trump got into office, again, monumental gains closing out, leading up to the essential 2017 bull market year, which also had crazy gains in that Q4. And then 2021, we had a good October, and we had the top in November, and then it was all downhill from there. So, you know, just looking from a historical standpoint, obviously what happened in the past is not going to happen in the future. There is no guarantee, but, you know, history does not, the history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. So it doesn't make any logical sense that Bitcoin should be where it is right now to a degree. We're going to see after the election. So just hold on, because November 5th is when the election is going to happen. Mm-hmm. We're going to see if any fuckery is involved. We're going to see what exactly is going on, but that's going to be a really big decision point for everybody. And yeah, that's what we're going on. So shifting gears now, Adam, I think you're the most qualified person to talk about. We're going to talk about meme coins. And there's a certain meme coin right now called GOAT. So one thing, it's kind of, I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit scary. Real quick, I'm going to give Adam I'm going to lead him into there. But there's a language model AI that is this Twitter account right here. It's truth_terminal. Okay. Now, this is a language model AI that was given access to all of these sets of data regarding memes on the internet. Okay. And it became obsessed with one meme called GOATSE. That's GOATSE. Do not Google that, because it is disgusting. It's a meme basically of a man stretching his anus open, and there's a whole, yeah, I'm dead. I mean, this is real, guys. Unfortunately, this is real. And this AI has become obsessed with this meme. Somebody made a meme coin called GOAT, which is tied to the GOATSE meme, and they gave $50,000 to this AI. And I'm roughly trying to understand the story. I ultimately think it's a scam, but we're gonna just give you guys the truth and let you guys decide what's going on. So, from the knowledge I have collected, which could be flawed, but from what I have collected, because I just think this whole thing's insane. It has been promoting this coin, this GOAT crypto coin. And if you take a look at the chart now, this thing has had a pretty insane run up. This is a meme coin. Okay. This is a meme coin that is based around the GOATSE internet meme. And if you just look at the daily chart here, this meme coin is less than 1 month old, but I'm just going to show you the chart for you guys to see at home. Okay. So this is the chart. This coin was given birth on October 10th. So 2 weeks ago, it went from a couple dollars to, it is now worth $700 million. And this is the daily chart. This has been massively viral. And if you don't believe me, I'll go to the AI we have that we're working with behind the scenes that shows the top 10 in regards to narratives. And again, here, if you just look at the token Mindshare, the top 10 in the last 24 hours, you have 2.6% of all of crypto Twitter talking about that in the last 24 hours. If you go to the last 48 hours, it's also at 2%. And then the last 7 days, it's still up there at another 2%. So it's been consistently trending. And then the last 30 days, it's going to be a little bit skewed in the data because it came out a couple of, actually literally 2 weeks ago, only 0.7%. But this thing is quickly moving. And if we just reduce this to the Solana, because it's on the Solana meme chain, 3% in the last 30 days. And if you go to the 7-day mark, it is now basically 9%. And then in the 48 hours, it is at basically 9% again. And then the last 24 hours looks like it's at 10.77%. So that's just in the Solana ecosystem. And if you just look at the narrative mindshare, again, the narrative mindshare for AI is through the roof. We're at a 38.4% narrative in regards to the mindshare. And that's because the whole crypto community is now talking about this AI token that has been, dominating.
So let me ask you this question from TradFi, right? Perspective. So I'm more interested in why. Why is it so hot? Is it because the narrative is that it's a purely AI generated token?
Yes.
AI made the whole thing. It looked at all the data that was to do memes and say, hey, out of all these memes on the internet or Twitter, this is the best meme I think I can come up with. And they made a token based off that AI's whatever the decision.
Adam's the expert on this. Adam's the expert on this. So Adam, go ahead, take the floor.
So this thing has been taking Twitter by storm. So the quote unquote official narrative is that some guy created like Jonathan said, they fed the AI model some memes and it decided they also funded it. Someone sent it like $50,000 to trade.
Mark Anderson.
Mark Anderson, yeah. So the AI decided the official narrative is that the coin GOATSE Maximus was created by the actual AI. So that's the whole reason behind the hype. So the AI created it and has been nonstop promoting it on the Twitter account that is also
nonstop promoting it. That is correct.
And the Twitter account is also supposedly controlled by the AI. There's been some controversy starting early this week that the AI is not actually controlling anything, and it's just a couple of people in a Discord server like coming up with shit posts to put into the Twitter account. And this took the price of the coin to like 20 cents, I think on Monday. Mm-hmm. And now it's back at like 70 cents. The coin in the last 10 days went from like 170,000 market cap to 770 million. So it's like a 5,000x in 10 days. It's ridiculous. And it had started a small movement of AI coins like Hana AI and Slop and Slug, all of which have done like 800x's in the last like 3 days. Like people are really gambling on this AI narrative. But I had a couple of stories here in my feed. I don't know if you want me to show it now.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you have the tweet where it misspelled?
I don't have that particular tweet. I was going to reference it in this, but I have another tweet on why it's kind of suspicious to me and some other people.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, can you see now?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the supposed wallet for the AI. It right now has $12 million because on top of the coin that it created, people have been creating.
It didn't create the coin. It did not. Just want to clarify that it did not create the coin. The coin was created by somebody else, and then it was just promoting the coin.
Oh, I thought I read that it actually created a coin. That was the whole thing about.
It's a language model. It can't create.
That was all the hype. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about it.
Mark Anderson went out and officially on that interview where he was stuttering like a retard said that he fucking nobody made the coin. The AI didn't make the coin.
Oh, okay.
Let me step back here. You're talking about Mark Andreessen Horowitz, right?
Yes.
founder of Netscape.
Yes.
So he has a venture capital firm with the same name. They call it A16Z in the Wall Street, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is pretty. I think they have somewhere between $40 to $50 billion asset under management under his firm's venture capital funds, right? And it's a serious player in the high tech space, right? And him giving $50,000 to some kind of large language model would spark all this interest.
Yeah.
As we saw, right? So
Yeah.
the question becomes, and John, you were saying that the coin, the meme was collected by the AI, but the coin wasn't made by AI. Coin was made by a human, right?
So I don't actually know who made the coin, but I do know that an AI language model does not have the ability to create.
Yes,
Right.
it shouldn't. That's right.
It can spit you out the answers or recommendation, but there has to be somebody, a human, that has to take that answer and make the coins at some of these dexes and whatever, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
So the wallet that is supposedly held by the AI has reached almost $12 million between the coins that have been sent to it. Ridiculous.
Who's sending money to this AI wallet?
I think that either insiders from those coins or people just wanting to support it or something. Like, it's really weird.
Can you send me the AI address? I'm going to pull it up on Bubble Maps right now.
Sure. One sec. What I wanted to go over was that
yeah, you go through your part, finish your thing, and then give it to me at the end. Sorry.
Sure. So early this week, there was a controversy because one of the tweets that the AI published had a typo in it, and language models do not make spelling mistakes.
Yeah, here, let me. I have it up here. This is the one he's talking about right here. It is on the 20th of October, 8:59 p.m. It says, let's not forget the images of GOATSE have been seen by groups of meditating monks in DMT land. So this right here is a typo. And language models, it is literally impossible, right? It is impossible for a language model to give a typo, correct? Yes.
Correct.
So that right there is a red flag.
So let me step back again. Let me kind of dissect it here a little bit, right? So AI, supposedly the story is that AI came up with this idea based on all the information it had.
It became obsessed. It was fed data specifically about memes on the internet, not meme coins, but memes, and it became obsessed.
Okay. Then
with
the mighty Oracle, AI Oracle, said this should be the meme, the most popular meme, whatever, right? Yeah. And we're thinking that some human took the results and made a meme coin out of it. Okay, that's fine. I think that's kind of okay. I get it. But who's running the Twitter and the social media campaign? The AI or the human?
They say it's an AI.
Supposedly it was the AI. So that's where the controversy comes in. So the typo had a lot of people who know about AIs and machine learning talking about how this has to be a scam because AIs don't make spelling mistakes. And then some supposed whistleblowers came out saying how it is all in a Discord server. And there's a couple of people just prompting ChatGPT to say random shit, and whatever they think it's funny, they just post it into the account. So it's technically an AI posting, but there is someone in the middle.
Okay. So I guess the whole narrative is it's a purely AI generated meme coin. Yeah. Versus there's some human fuckery involved in the background, right?
Yeah.
That's where the
exactly. So that's where the controversy at the beginning of the week happened, and that's what moved the price to 20 cents. It recovered, but now today something else came up. Really? I'm gonna share it now. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go, buddy. Go share it.
Okay. So there's this coin called Russell, which was completely dead at this point. And people are noticing that some wallet magically decided to buy Ethereum worth of it 1 minute before the AI account decided to tweet about and mention Russell. So this leads more into the belief that, yeah, it's all being manipulated and it's not an AI actually running the account, which, if you ask me from the beginning, I would have considered that an AI is not capable of running an account at this point. Like, yeah, you can hook it up via an API, but it didn't add up. Like, the way it all happened, it was really sketchy. And yeah, at this point, I'm 100% convinced it's just some guys trying to pop their bags.
You know, we've been talking about it in our group about this GOAT thing for a few days now, almost a week, right, guys? Because we were saying, oh my God, it's a purely AI generated, AI backed token. But then as we
Adham,
dig
send me
more
address.
and more, yeah, we're saying that, well, it's not really 100% true, right? And we get this little thread and we start pulling it. And there seems to be this whole sweater is kind of coming apart now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are no heroes in crypto. There are no magical moments. Everybody's in this industry for one reason only. That's to make money. So when people tell me anybody I think who believes in this is a fucking idiot, quite frankly. But the point I'm trying to make here, and I'm gonna go into this a little bit further, is that with these meme coin narratives, if you can look at it from a non-emotionally invested way, you could just think, okay, this is how I look at it. All these idiots believe, one, that this is an AI generated token, completely false. Two, they believe that this thing is controlled completely by AI, even though it made a spelling, and people want to believe in something. Because listen, the vast majority of people on the planet and crypto Twitter are complete fucking idiots. So you have to bet on the decision-making process of stupid people. What are stupid people going to do? They think, this is what a stupid person says in crypto. Hey man, I've got $5,000. How can I make a quick 50x? Can you just let me know off the top of your head? Like, listen here, dickhead. If I knew, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to your dumbass. Okay. I'd be fucking 50xing my way to an island full of models in some tax-free zone and just, making my own AI scams or something. I don't know, but I wouldn't be talking to your dumbass. But the average person, that's what they think. They think, let me do 10 minutes of research and let me try to get 100x. And then they lose all their money. And then they say crypto's a scam. Crypto's not a scam. You're an idiot. But crypto is a scam because idiots like you are involved, and then they fucking fail. And then it looks like a scam. So, it's the whole, the circle of morons.
I sent the address in the private chat if you want to take a look at it.
Have you plugged this into Bubble Maps?
Not this address. I was going to talk about something else related to Bubble Maps, but I don't know if you want to continue with this topic, and then because this is
go. It's good information. Guys in the chat, what do you think? Is this stupid? Put a 1 if you're enjoying this. Put a 2 if you want us to just end the stream and take James out back and end him.
I also wanted
George.
So
I wanted to say one quick thing.
Sure, go ahead.
For GOAT, and this is just an example which you'll see in all markets, but especially in crypto, is that even those people that are intelligent like to invest into something that sounds like a cool dream, basically. So those tokens and a lot of real projects, DeFi projects, whatever, second layer projects, they want to sell a dream. You see it in Cardano, you see it in Bitcoin, especially.
Ethereum.
Yep. Because if they made the GOAT token and told everyone, hey, we're making a token with people on Discord prompting ChatGPT, it wouldn't really be cool. And this way, with the whole narrative and the idea behind it and people thinking what could happen, this is actually how it sells.
So,
I mean, based on what we've seen, I think narrative for meme coins is very important, right? I mean,
yes.
Yeah, but the narrative has to hold. It has to pass the integrity test. Like, John, like you were talking about the POPCAT a few months ago, that's what you were looking at. You were looking at the narrative and the community, right? And you were saying that, hey, the narrative holds, and there's a great community behind it. And I believe in the developers based on their track record. And that's one of the reasons that you went kind of heavy in PopCat. Is that correct?
In theory, I didn't buy any PopCat, but I was just looking at, what it would work out, and it worked out swimmingly. I wish I bought some, but
this is a perfect segue to what I was going to talk about. So the thing with narratives in meme coins is that you have to really develop a system to filter out what is a narrative that's going to stay for a long while, like what PopCat is doing right now, and what is something that will die out in a couple of weeks. And I'm going to share this particular example. 3 weeks ago, Mudeng was all the hype.
Did I not call it? Did I not say Mudeng is going to fucking die? Yep. It is going to die. And here you are.
This is just a reminder that what may seem like the best meme coin opportunity now may die in just a couple of days, because it was just a temporary fad and wasn't just a narrative that was going to stick for a long term. So you always have to consider this when you're looking into potential buy-ins. It cannot be something that will only live for a short while, especially with meme coins. They are especially risky as they are. So you have to be really selective with which type of risk you're gonna pick on. Also, and just to finish my part, another good rule of thumb: if one of the main crypto influencers is already talking about a coin, it's probably a bad idea to get into it.
Yeah.
So this coin, can you see my screen right now?
You're good.
Okay. So a couple of days ago, this coin called Sharpie came up. I'm back with a couple of familiar crypto faces, especially Lark Davis. This guy is like a complete scammer, all through and through. So they were all shilling the coin and whatnot, and the coin started off sorta legitimate, regular price action, and then today a single wallet sold $3.3 million with 0.5% of the supply in one single clip, and nuked the price by 6% in one single clip.
That's hilarious.
That's the 5-minute shots.
Of course, the influencers were called into question by their followers, and they tried to deny it. But our Lord and Savior, Bubble Maps, one of the best tools in crypto right now. If you don't know what Bubble Maps does, it shows you the link between wallets that hold a coin. So if I buy a coin in a wallet and then send it to 3 coins, Bubble Map will show the arrows to tell people that these wallets are connected somehow. So what happened with this coin is that some of the influencers decided to pull up some money and buy 60% of the supply with one wallet, and then split it up into 100 different wallets to make it look that like it was organic and there were a lot of wallets holding it. And then just before the crash, every single wallet sent back to the initial one, and it dumped 50% of the supply in one go. And that's what nuked the price. So yeah, whatever kind of influencer tries to defend this kind of thing, they're all full of shit. Again, if an influencer is trying to promote a coin, it's probably too late. If the good moment to get into a meme coin is when it's just like a small cult that nobody knows about. It has to be weird. You have to go to the Telegram and be like, what the hell is going on here? That's the point in time where you are still early. When it's mainstream and everyone on Twitter is talking about it, then it's too late. It's probably going to dump on you.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of funny because, this kind of reminds me of back in the early 2000s. I used to work for a venture stage early capital, or early stage venture capital firm in Chicago. And we used to look at some internet-based businesses. And a lot of them, what the big catchphrase was the SEO, right? Search engine optimization. And a lot of that was based to how many external links you can get, link to this, have a different website, measure your website, almost kind of like what you're showing, Adam, right? Saying that, hey, they created this hundreds of different wallets so they can kind of wash the transaction, so it's like make it look like all the flow was coming organically, but even though it was just done all by insider, right? Kind of remind me of that. To get a higher SEO score, they would create all these fake websites, or I guess just shell websites, and just kind of watch the links and the traffic flow through them to kind of get yourself bump up on the SEO ranking.
Yeah, if there's a system, they're gonna try to rig it. So yeah, like that's why bubble maps have skyrocketed in popularity, because it allows people to see beforehand if people are manipulating the holder count or if it's actual organic growth.
So going back to organic, so this is the bubble maps is where you could see, because crypto is all about being on a blockchain, so everything is literally trackable, right? For most tokens. So if you look at this is GOATSE right here. This is what an actual relatively legitimate but concentrated market looks like. These moving dots indicate traveling transactions, and you can see there's a lot here clustered here, right? So you can see where everything's are, and then on bubble maps, this is all free tech. You know, you can see the top 150 wallets. Look like there's only 150. I don't know if it's top 150, but it's, you know, Radium is where it's centralized from initially, and then you can see like here, there's more established meme coins, and I'm going to talk about. Alex, did you want to go?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, let me just give my spiel, and then I want you to go, and then it'll come back to me. So WIF is this is the one of the icons that's on the thumbnail for this. This is probably the most talked about meme coin this cycle, in my opinion. And you could see the transactions here. So this big bubble right here, you can see Binance owns 20% of it. Binance listed this on March 1st or March 5th of this year. They have 20% of the supply. And then you could just see, you know, it's a little bit more uniform in regards to what is looking like organic distribution, right? It just doesn't look so wild. And then also, if you looked at, what was that? Was it Harris? What was it? That scam one?
Sharpie.
How do you spell it? SHARPIE. Sharpay?
Sharpay, that one, yeah.
Yeah. And then 50% of the wallet is and 50% of the supply is that's the one that dumped, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so that's when you see a coin with more than 20%. I mean, what's the maximum you want to see in one wallet, honestly?
In one wallet, less than 8 or 10%.
Yeah,
like at most.
Yeah.
Ideally less than 5.
Yeah.
And then looking at POPCAT is the one the guys were mentioning earlier. POPCAT here, you can see pretty organic distribution. And Bybit holds the largest amount, and then Kraken, Gate.io, and then I believe they're also, KuCoin holds a decent amount, and then MEXC is hidden for some reason. Radium is also there, but you can kind of see these different wallets.
Yeah, so kind of piggybacking on what you're saying, a lot of those are centralized exchanges, right? What John is saying, that it's not owned by a person at a centralized exchange. A lot of centralized exchange puts some of their coins, have their own liquidity pool of coins that are popular, and they hold it so they can do a faster transaction to their customers. Sometimes when you, let's say you buy Solana on Kraken, the Solana you buy, you're kind of buying it actually from Kraken's wallet, not to some outside that's, that's linked to Solana. So you're not buying it from another person in Kraken on Kraken. You're probably buying it from a pool that Kraken has reserved for its customers to trade Solana off of. So when John said, "Hey, POPCAT," there's a Bybit, and Kraken has POPCAT wallet address. Well, they're probably using as their internal pool to trade with their own customer.
And at that 2%, because Kraken's got 2.6% or so of the supply, but it's not enough for them to offer leverage trading on it. So you can't short it.
You have actually less probability of that wallet dumping, like that. One address that's on 50% for the Sharpie, that was a big red flag, right, guys? But
Yeah.
if you see like a Binance on 10%, you have a less chance of debt dumping versus some individual wallet address that's got 10%, right?
The thing about Sharpay
Sharpay.
is that so the bubble
Right.
map can't make the connection until there's a transaction that's happened between the wallets.
Right,
So as soon as that
right,
happens, then the bubble map knows. So for them, from my understanding, that one wallet that had 50% and dumped it instantly didn't have any interactions with them prior to that. So there was no way of knowing that all of those wallets were connected by something until the moment of destruction.
No,
So-
not like that. So that one wallet bought at the coin launch, and it split
Oh, that
into
split it.
100 wallets. And
Oh, great.
right before dumping, they all converged back into the original wallet and then sold all at once.
Well, then that's something to look out for then, if you see that.
Yes.
Because then you would have been able to see that straight away then.
Yeah, at this point, like
ahead of time.
it's gotten so popular that most of the Telegram bots, for those who
Mhm.
like sniping coins, the Telegram bots will now include on the top 10 holders if there's a link between them, which is really
Okay.
good. And it also link to the bubble map of the coin if you want to do further research, because
Mhm.
now it's kind of a necessary step now, because people are trying to
Yeah.
rig the system, and now you have to just like be careful about that.
Constant arms race. Yeah, just get
It's
to-
also
That's
one
kind of
point.
funny though. They dumped 50% of the pool, means they drove the price way down on themselves, right?
Yeah.
Because typically you want to see them kind of churn at the top to maintain the price at certain band. Because when you dump 50%, it's going to drive the price down on yourself, so you're not going to get the max catch up.
They
That's
got $3 million. They
Yeah,
nuked
so
it all
most-
in one
yeah.
clip, and
Mhm.
the price dropped by 96%. Like there was no way to like avoid that. Like I know why they did it, in the sense that they'll sacrifice the slippage for benefit of being able to sell everything at once. And
Yeah,
running
that's
the
huge.
rate back.
Jesus.
So-
yeah.
So I want to ring it in real quick. Real quick. One quick question: is the fact that we're just seeing so much transaction on this GOATSE bubble mat, is that a red flag? Because that's a lot of fucking transactions going on. Like this little cluster here, I can't even fucking get into it.
Where are all those linked though?
Yeah, like to click through this, you would have to like fucking. I mean, this is the UI. They definitely need to. They definitely need to fix this, because I can't even access what I want to access within this. But the fact that there's so much transactions happening, it's definitely indicating a lot of volume. Correct?
Yeah, I
Well, it had to
think
be- it had to be both.
what we have to be cautious about, and for everyone trying to like wet a coin, if the coin is good or if it's a scam, and exactly the same stories for centralized exchanges, is that you can't trust transaction volume or trading volume, because centralized exchanges, if you check the volume on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap or one of the other bigger sites, they provide those numbers to those sites displaying you those numbers. So what they could do is either they display their actual numbers and they trade internally with their own accounts, basically, to
Right.
push up transaction volume and get their ranking as in centralized exchange rankings on those platforms up.
Yeah.
Or they could basically do wash trading on the blockchain too. So if you don't have any trading fees on your own exchange, why wouldn't you push up trading volume? And this leads to, on the one side, exchanges are having something like 200 million USD trading volume in 24 hours. But if you check their socials and their app downloads and other metrics like website visitors, you see that they should have a maximum of 50,000 users. So it's completely unrealistic. That's the first point. And for DeFi, for Radium trading volume, for example, if trading with DeFi on Solana, they could have multiple wallets and just sell between
I can
those
wash
wallets.
it. That way, yeah.
And they even get that, or the only cost, if they provide the liquidity for the trades, they only have to give a small percentage to Radium or to whichever protocol they are using most of the times. Because if they have the liquidity, they also earn on the trading fees. So it's less of a problem for them. And transaction costs are really low. So there could be a coin with only 2,000 real holders, but it looks like 200,000 pumping meme coin because some developers just have a script running that's trading internally.
Yeah, most of the trading volume nowadays in like for most coins, of course, there's the ones that pop that will have organic volume, but most of them the volume comes from MEV bots. Quick for those who don't know what an MEV bot is, basically before my transaction goes through, it stays for a little while in like a limbo where bots can check the blockchain to see what transactions are incoming but haven't been confirmed yet. So what the bot will do is that, for example, I'm gonna buy POPCAT. It will buy POPCAT before me. Then with my buy, the price rises, right? So now their purchase is in profit, and then they immediately sell the POPCAT that they bought. So now I'm in a loss, and they profited off of my trade. That is called sandwiching, because my trade is both of theirs. So yeah, that is where most of the volume
running. I call it the front running in the regular trading, right? And remember we talked about the Citadel market maker, right? Citadel Investments. They're known for that. And there was actually a book that I read a while back, but this was huge. I guess in early 2000s. You guys hear about the high frequency trading, right? HFT, high frequency trading, the term in some of the financial news, whatever. That's what these guys do. They front run it, right? So they get the signal faster and they front run it, and they'll make that fraction of a penny, and they just do it over and over and over. So you're talking about millions of transactions per day at fraction of a penny. You're still netting $3 million a day doing this, and
James,
I see it how it can be done on crypto too.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is it true that like in traditional finance, like banks and investment firms like fight for real estate close to the New York Stock Exchange because being closer, their bot will be faster because it's closer to the server?
Yeah, so there's actually a book called The Flash Boys, right? And it talks about this. So what they figured out was that now all the trading is done on the computers, right? And what they found is that the person they can execute the trade faster always wins, because you're having the lower slippage, or you can front run the trade, right? Let's say, Adam, you said, hey, I want to buy 100 shares of Apple. Well, if I see that signal and I go buy 100 shares of Apple before you, then I take the 100 shares and sell it to you. I just made money off of it, right? Because I just kind of drove up the price. Then I sold it to you, so I get the spread on that, right? So what they found is that what mattered was the speed of transaction execution. And so what these companies, once figured that out, spend millions, sometimes with billions, actually digging tunnels to lay fiber optic cable straight to the exchange servers. So, the closer you are to exchange server and the most straight line you can have on a fiber optic line, you are the fastest, right? And so a lot of they said, oh, New York Stock Exchange, yada, yada, yada. Actually, most of the servers for that is in New Jersey, right? So a lot of these companies have these direct fiber line into servers where they can execute the trade the fastest, and they are like skimming fractions of a penny of every trade. And they have computers doing this, million trades per day doing fraction of a penny, and that just adds up. You're making million or two a day, and that's pretty much a risk free because you're kind of buying it and selling it in a fraction of a second, right? So you're holding nothing on your books. So there's no way. Let's say you hold Apple, and Apple say, "Hey, we're going to stop making this stupid VR goggles," and overnight Apple tanks by 10%. Well, you're not holding it, right? You're just kind of holding it and getting rid of everything at the end of the day. So you have a really low risk of big correction overnight or because of the news. So these guys are making billions. That's what it's called, the high frequency trading.
So I want to go back to Alex now, because Alex wanted to give a little bit more, a little more in detail breakdown on how to make money with these meme coins. Alex, thanks for waiting.
Oh, all good, all good. Let's jump up and let's see if we can share the entirety of Chrome. So here's our, basically, once again, I'm a huge fan of these GAN fans, looking at price over time. And as you saw with Adham's 60-day cycle thing, he had the horizontal lines going, and those are also very, very important. So basically, the way that
could you zoom in, Control plus plus
cool.
On the...
Well, this is just the way these work is basically in a market that is not being manipulated by some sort of unknown force. So in sort of an honest market that's allowed to just run naturally, the price should behave according to these general lines. So when we were looking at Moodang the other week, it popped up. So here's on the daily chart, but basically the weekly is sort of the better indicator because, you know, as we zoom out, we get a bit of a time frame. So we looked at it and it's brand new and it was a couple of weeks ago. And the first thing I said was like, it's gone way too hard, way too fast. Like that is ridiculous. There has to be some sort of base built to sustain this kind of move because we've just gone in like 1 week. The price had just gone like 700%, which might not seem like a ridiculous amount. A lot of memes go harder, but it was just the fact that if we were to draw our lines, that it's just so much, there's just nothing. We're not even anywhere in this. And as I go through the other charts, you'll see the stronger meme coins are all obeying what we want to be seeing here. So I just drew this line a couple of weeks ago, just like it should be coming down. And it went down like meteorically. It just crashed. And so now we've finally reached a point where we're at the line. Great. But now it would indicate that it's still got further to go and that it wants to go all the way somewhere here to the 1 by 1, the 2 by 1, or all the way down here, 8 by 1, which means that the price potentially has got, like we should expect another 70%, another 80%, potentially a 90% drop in the horizon. That's sort of where it wants to go now. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but that is what the chart is telling us it wants to do, which is why we're sort of sitting there going, well, are there better things out there? And there absolutely is. So there's no point being anywhere near this at the current time. So if we look at something like GOAT, right? Here we go. It's moving up nicely. This week's still going. It's got time to go. It'll probably open somewhere in here. It might keep going up. That's fine. As soon as it drops, but before a line, and I'm pointing at the screen, but no one can see me, but here, where my mouse is. If we lose this area, 47 cents, then it probably wants to move down to the next one. And then as the weeks progress, eventually, at some point, the price will want to go back down to this sort of zone. Now, that does not mean that the price is finished going up. It could go up before it does anything. So there's still room for it to move. And on the daily chart, it's just chugging along. So that's nice. If you were in GOAT, there's no warning signs at the moment. We're only really new. We're 3 weeks up. Things are looking fine. I would say if you don't have a position at all at this point, there's sort of, you don't know where we are. We might keep going, but we could easily just reverse. So if you're not in, then, you know, maybe wait for a bit more of an obvious sign. Someone asked about Giga earlier, and Giga's looking fabulous. So when you're below the lines here, 8 by 1 line, that generally means that nothing is happening and it probably is going to go to 0, and you should not even bother paying attention to it until it gets above that line again. And as we can see, going up below here, don't even worry about it. As soon as it got above, off we go. And we can see how there's this nice, healthy, it hits the line, it comes down, hits the line, and all of these bars, and I'll zoom in, all these bars are just very nicely, and you might be like suspiciously, you might even say, they're just chilling between. And when they come up too high, well, of course, when the week closes, they have to come back down in because there's absolutely nothing. Like this area is kind of no man's land. And so we have this constant just, it looks like it's roughly following what we'd expect it to do. And so I would say this is an indication, a strong one, that Giga is not something that there's, some sort of Illuminati, mysterious people behind it who are looking to just rug the project. It is acting like a fair and reasonable market would. So if we come to where the price launched off here, you can see how it's sort of in this zone, which is looking great. But we've hit resistance. And so it might be that it wants to come down. We are talking about how Bitcoin might be finishing up its run for now and coming back down. So that would give altcoins and meme coins a little bit more time to push, but it would not be unreasonable for things to start heading down now. Now, this week is starting to shape up like the price is lowering, but because the week isn't finished, we can't count this week. This week kind of doesn't exist. But at the moment, Gig is looking great. It's looking great. It could puncture through this and keep going up, in which case, a retest of this line, so somewhere at 65 to 68 cents, would be, a place that you could get in. But at the moment, like we'll see as we go through the charts, we're sort of in this area of if you don't have any right now, then you probably should wait for some sort of low to come in. You probably should wait for 33 cents or 3 cents, 3.3 cents, 3.5 cents, 3.6 cents. You probably should wait. Don't just jump in. Who have the XPX? Here we are. Like that's like nothing. This is just dead. Dead. Don't even worry about it. Don't even talk about it. It has proven that it's doing nothing until it gets above this line. And sure enough, all of a sudden, boom. And from there, and that's why these lines are really great, because this is how you make the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Because it's not about, I've got a good vibe about it. It's like the chart is telling you it's go time. So get in. And from here, we've just launched, but we sort of have, so this is a logical spot for it to finish, which it did, 98 cents. Wonderful. Huge run. And so I went, well, now, if we're looking at some sort of, a couple of, because it had no red weeks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks up. This week is an inside week, so it's still a week up, so 6 weeks up. Another inside week, 7 weeks up. Runs tend to be 4 to 7 weeks. You look for a change in sort of the 5th week. And so also this is a bit different. We had a whole 50% drop in 1 week. Bang. But then it launched back up again. So everything's fine. We've got this tightening here. So, could we keep going up? Yes, if the rest of the market does. I would expect, just because with the meme coins, even with Bitcoin early on, 80% corrections were just like something that happened every 2 or 3 months. Like it was not a crazy thing. So for meme coins, it is totally fine for a meme coin to drop 80% and then still go up another 5x and then drop 80% and then go up another 5x. So if you're looking, here's a good spot because it is 50% of the all-time high price. So if you ever see something that's going really well and it's come down and it's made a low at the 50% region, that's a good spot to buy big and put a type stop loss though, because that's generally a good spot, that 50%. So we've come up, who knows what will happen. I'm expecting it to make a low. So that's why I've got this sort of general 30%, 50%, 75%. So once again, if you're not already in, then look for an entry. Don't just ape in. You don't want to be chasing the memes because you really don't want to be chasing anything. But SPX is looking pretty good. I think Giga's looking better from a more reasonable market standpoint, but these are good. FWOG was another one that's popped up. This one's looking beautiful. This is probably my favorite one. It's by the book, how this should work. So what I would expect from this would be a push up above this line. And then as soon as it breaks that, it coming back down to here somewhere. So that's looking fine. But once again, if you're not already in, then you're going to have to wait for an entry. Don't just rush in. Because we're seeing this kind of candle on everything where we have a wick building. Wick's not done, so you can't count it. But if it, don't be surprised if it keeps kind of coming down, because everything's been having a really good run. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks up. Cool. So
good stuff.
Nice.
So I want to
just really quickly.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
With PopCat. So we're 7 weeks up on PopCat as well. Great. This number 7 popping up. Here we go. We've just made the all-time high as of a few minutes ago. So that's fun. Now, if we look here, huge spike in volume. And so this could be, oh, this is the top. Or it could just be, we're coming down for a while and then we'll assault it again later. But once again, you don't want to be buying. I mean, you can buy at an all-time high price. That's actually, like, people think, oh, you want to sell at the all-time high. Buying at an all-time high price is good, but you just want to have a really tight stop in there in case it comes back down again. So, my advice with all of these is if you don't have a position, don't just like ape one in suddenly. You want to have a strategy about what you're doing. And look for your entry and have some sort of, I use this framework. Other people use completely different frameworks. It's totally fine. It's just use your thing. And if you find you can make money with it, just keep doing that. And everyone has their own thing. And so you need to find your thing. Don't just ooh. And certainly don't do it via emotion, because that's going to work out terribly for you most of the time. Because even if it goes really well and you keep buying, keeps going up, that keeps going up, will eventually see you ruin yourself, because you would just not sell and you'll just lose it all. So, yes.
Beautiful. All right. So we've given a lot of complex explanations here regarding meme coins. Now, I'm just going to give you a very simple way for you to look at this to make profit as soon as possible. Okay. So when you want to make money in Bitcoin, you ideally, at the bare minimum, with cryptocurrency rather, everybody's goal is to double their money, right? You put in 1,000, you get 2,000. You put in 2,000, you get 4,000, whatever the case may be. So in order for that to happen, the market cap must double as well, right? So in order for you to do that with a coin that has a lot of money involved in it, for example, let's just look at Bitcoin real quick, okay, for you guys. I'm going to give you two examples, right? So if you look at Bitcoin right here and you go to comparemarketcap.com, phenomenal website, okay? And then you just click on the ROI calculator down here, okay? So let's just say you want to put something simple, okay? Nice round number, put $1,000 in, okay? If you invest $1,000 today, in order for that to go to $2,000, Bitcoin needs to go to $3 trillion. So that means from current price, you need $1.7 trillion to flow into Bitcoin in order for you to double your money. The chances of that happening in a short time frame are very, very, very low. Okay? That's the only way you're going to make money. So let's just say you wanted to go to a smaller market cap coin, something like that's newer on the market called SUI. SUI only has a market cap of $5.4 billion. Okay. Billions flow in and out of crypto like nothing. So let's say you invest $1,000 here. If you want it to go to 2,000, you just need this to double. $5 billion in cryptocurrency land is nothing, especially when the bull market mania is at an all-time high, right? The key to making money, because we're looking at these established coins, right? So now if we go to something, let's go back to, for example, GOATSE, the crypto, which also just hit all-time high right now as we're speaking. This only has $700 million, which is very, very low in cryptocurrency. On the left-hand side of your screen, you can see that. If people got in here when it's 7 cents, that's about $7 million. Okay. For 7 million to go to 14 million is an easier way to double your money than from going from 1.3 trillion with Bitcoin to 3 trillion. So the beauty of meme coins is you have to find meme coins that look like established products. Okay. So everybody's been talking about this POPCAT thing, right? So POPCAT has a great website, and this is how you could know that they take it seriously. The three indicators I look at are: what does the Telegram chat look like? What does the Twitter look like? Are they lazy? Are they posting every other day? Or are they religiously posting? They're strategically posting. They're replying to big names in the industry. And do they have a website is number 3. The POPCAT website is pretty good, okay? So this is the cat, and if you click on it, it pops, okay? You can see I've been on this website, and I've popped 150 times, okay? So yeah, you might think this is a stupid website, but what I see is that somebody actually gives a shit. Okay. That's the most important part. And you can see the pop click. This is the pop list on the world. So the world leader for pops is Thailand, and they are currently popping right now. This is 1.23 billion pops. Hong Kong number 2, Taiwan number 3, Japan number 4, Korea number 5, Malaysia number 6, Saudi Arabia number 7, America number 8, Indonesia. You get the point. This is a heavy Asia coin. Now, Asians are far less degenerate in their trading like Americans. So I think that's a big reason why PopCat is holding and steadily moving up. They also have a PopCat game that you can see here. This is me live. So if you go right now to maxwellcat.world at home and you find Inel, that is actually me right there. And you could play the game where you chase other rats and you get a point. And then this is real. These are people from all around the world. And the goal is to chase as many rats as possible. And again, yes, this may seem stupid, but what this tells me is that the community is taking this coin seriously. And they universally want to make the coin go up. Everybody's collectively investing, holding. They take it very, very seriously, right? And we go back to, you can see they have a website here for merch. You can buy adult t-shirts. You can buy kid t-shirts. Another thing for me that I think is a big indicator of why a meme coin goes viral, it has to be mainstream friendly. There is a coin out there called RAPR, and it's known as Raper, okay, which stands for retarded APR.
Oh my God.
And yes, this is a real coin called Raper, and it's hilarious. But if you tell a woman, hey, I want you to invest in Raper coin, she will probably take offense to that, and women will not gravitate to a coin called Raper coin. If there's anything heavily sexually suggestive about it, it's not going to be passing the sniff test. Again, here's another one here. You can see. So, hold on. So the goal of that is just to get as many people watching watching the rats spin. It's ridiculous, but it shows me that they care. Another coin, again, the one that is like led the charge, excuse me, on the meme coin revolution that's happening right now is WIF, WIF. Okay, and it's a dog with a hat. And another thing that I like to say is the cuteness indicator. One of the things that I like to talk about with coins like WIF is I did a test. And this is me doing some early market research. Hello to the resident mascot cat of the Tokyo Crypto
And
Show.
it's a cat.
It's a cat.
It's a sign.
So these the WIF token, if you look at the WIF logo, right? And I did a blind A/B test. I found as many girls that I could meet as possible. And I just showed them, I said, hey, I want you to look at this crypto coin and tell me what you think, okay? 10 out of 10 girls, I did not prompt them. I did not say anything. I even tested my mom, okay? 10 out of 10 women said, oh my God, it's so cute. I want to buy it. All right. Now, no offense to these people, but that is the decision-making process of the average idiot. Haha, that's funny, but cute, adorable, that's the number one thing you want to be looking for. Haha, this is cute. I want to buy it. I'm not betting on the coin. I'm betting on stupid people's decision-making process. And stupid people believe that these coins are going to go to the moon, right? If you don't believe me, look at the Hex community. Hex is essentially a gigantic meme coin with a religion behind it.
Whoa.
Listen, I will make Alex pull up the Hex chart, okay? The Hex
Don't
coin,
make me, please.
Hex coin is literally down, what is it, 99%?
Yeah, about 96.5.
Oh, 96.5. Sorry, didn't mean to get ahead of myself.
Just a pullback, guys. Just a pullback. It's just regular pullback.
Pull back in the bull market, man.
Yeah.
These meme coin, now these Hex people are saying, oh, once the lawsuit is settled, Hex is going to rip to the moon. Okay, yeah, billions of dollars are going to flow into this fucking gigantic scam.
Just like Ripple.
Huh?
Yeah.
Just like Ripple. Once the lawsuit is over, it's gonna pump. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
One of the reasons I got into bond kind of early was that I was watching some retarded YouTube video about something retarded, random stuff. Then I saw, I think it was in New York City or Boston. I saw this advertising truck go by in the background with bonk, and I was like, "What is that?" So I Googled it, then I got in, and luckily it was like right before it took off. So, like, kind of what you're saying, John, is that hey, they actually gave a shit to advertise in big city and spend money on an advertising truck to get it out there instead of just start a meme coin and just hoping and wishing, right, for a rug pull.
Yes. And that's what you have to bet on. So you want to look at coins, catch them early. I think another good coin that I believe has some potential was Alex was mentioning early is the coin known as FWOG, FWOG, right? So you can see FWOG here. This only came out on July 30th, but if you take a look at their socials, that everything, they take it all very seriously. They have a website. Okay. Actually, let me just go here. Let me reshare. So you could see that they are taking this seriously. And moreover, it is a community-led coin. There is no developer. There is no team behind anything. It is completely organic now. So you can look at the token distribution here on the left-hand side. The top wallet has 2%, so it's totally safe. Okay. It has 19.9 million coins. Not that much when there's a billion coins out there. Okay. Total is just south of a billion, right? They have a website. If you go to the website here, it's fwog.sol.xyz. Oh God, it's not working. Hold on. Oh, let me see. Let me double check. The 2 seconds. Hold on. Let me. Oh, okay. They changed the website too. It's fwog.com. Okay. So then if you look at the website, and there was just recent drama. I'll break down the drama and why it's good for community as well. This is it. This is the FWOG website. Okay. It's a fwog.com. And it has the deck screener here, it has the X right here, it has the Telegram right here. Okay. So here's why it's good. They have a website, they have a dedicated artist. And if you look at their Twitter, it's a FWOG is their Twitter account. They have a dedicated artist that is making custom art for this meme coin. All right. So again, the dedication to the cause, which is, like I said, it's cult-like following. You see this? This is the custom art that's being made consistently. They have all this, like this is high quality art that they're putting out. This is showing me like they actually give crap, right? And they're consistently posting. They're taking it seriously.
And honestly, meme coins should have stuff like that, because you can go on Fiverr and you can find amazing artists in India or somewhere else that will make you like 5 really nice pictures each day, and you can post them, and that's it. It's not like it's a lot of work.
Yes. And then this coin also has pretty good organic movement, as Alex was mentioning earlier. It's very early on as well. The market cap is only $220 million. And if Bitcoin is set to jettison like we are predicting it will, it's going to drag everything up. And just for some context, going back to Shiba Inu, because Shiba Inu was the one that really solidified the fact that you can make money by repeating the meme process. Because Doge went big, right? And then Shiba Inu went after it. And Shiba Inu was a controlled situation. So I'm just going to talk to you about this real quick, going back to last last cycle and talking about market cap. So it started tracking data here on CoinMarketCap. It peaked on the 12th of May at $12 billion. Now, that's when Bitcoin hit its first all-time high, approximately mid-April 2021, around 60-something thousand. And then we had a gigantic retracement. And then it had its big run-up in November. That's when Bitcoin did. And then you could see here, this coin went in a mere matter of from the 4th of October from being of a 3.3 billion market cap up to a 39 billion market cap. So a 10x, assuming you bought on the 4th. You got a quick 10x in 1 month. So if you put $10,000 in at the end of 1 month, you have 100,000. You put $100,000 in, you time the top, which you won't do, but theoretically speaking, you know, you're going to have $1 million at the end of that 10x market. Put 500 in times X, you know, you got what? 500 times 10 is what, 50,000, right? So, or I don't know, 10,000, 5,000. Sorry. No, I think, yeah, 5,000. So, that's how you're going to calculate these things. And then obviously the drop off of memes is violent, you know? So you have to get in, bet on stupid people, be there before stupid people, and leave after the stupid people leave. And that's how you can make money with meme coins. You got to look at percentages, because at the bottom line is this too. People who have been consistently with the cryptocurrency game now for a long time, we are so fed up with scams. And 90%, 95% of all, 99% of all crypto is a scam. You have these companies like, here's our white paper, and here's our team of fucking developers, and here's this, and here's this. And it's this all big show for them to get a bunch of money, and then they can exit with profit. Sorry, the project doesn't work, and everybody who bought in is screwed. That's what happened with Logan Paul and Crypto Zoo. That's what happened with so many things, and it's happened time and time again. The beauty about meme coins is this. People are like, yes, basically, this is a scam. Here's a fucking dog. It's wearing a hat. We're trying to get this thing to $100 billion and get rich as fuck. Are you in or are you out? And I think the purity of it is far more refreshing to people than the fact of the matter of, oh, here's this tech and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And the reality is it's bullshit. The whole project is bullshit. The roadmap is bullshit. It's all fake and gay. Smart people understand. And, you know, it's just, you're only going to make money if you get in and then sell your shares to somebody who is an idiot who thinks that the project's going to work. In reality, it's not. So that's the big difference there between regular situations of making money with crypto, which is like, you know, there's an actual valid case, and others that are not. And the only reason, another thing is this too, okay? Let's be very honest. The number one use case of Solana is right now is people making memes and gambling. And the reason right now Solana is raging in price, we're seeing highest prices in based upon the year. This is the Solana chart right now. Well, we peaked up here. We got to like 182 at the end of July. And we peaked up here. This is like right after Bitcoin had its mania on for like a 2-month drag. And then it peaked up here with Bitcoin. I think the all-time high in the year was what, 202? Pretty sure it was 202. I'll double check. Yeah, 209. 209. Right? So, and the only reason it went up is because Bitcoin went up, and then now it's consistently going up because the narrative of meme coins is picking up, and it's easy as fuck to make a meme coin. Adam could make a meme coin right now. If I told him, hey, Adam, whip up a meme coin right now, he could probably make it. How long would it take you to make a meme coin right now?
3 seconds, and now it's free. Before you had to pay.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah, that's free.
Actually, interesting pump fun. Like they've streamlined the meme coin process so much. Of course, they're probably the biggest driving factor for Solana price right now. And it's even more impressive when you consider that they've been dumping a lot of Solana. Because the way platform works is that they get a commission on every coin that is made, of course. So that is all paid in Solana. And they have gotten over like $80 million in Solana that they've sold so far. And they still have like, I think it was like $500 million still in revenue that they are still to sell. And even with that sell pressure, the price of Solana keeps on going up because, yeah, they are selling, but people to buy the memes, they have to buy Solana first. And when they take profit on the meme or just cut their losses, they are technically buying Solana with the meme as well. So all of those factors combined are like Solana is in for a big pump this cycle. especially because of the casino that we're seeing in it right now.
Define big pump.
Um,
Some crazy person I
Definitely-
know keeps saying 1,000.
I mean, maybe it won't reach 1,000 because it's a psychological number, but it'll probably get close. Like, it will definitely do more than what Ethereum did last cycle.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, and not in terms of market cap, but in terms of like percentage gains. Because last cycle, from the bottom, Ethereum I think got to like $200 and went to like 5,000. So that's 25.
Might have been 80. Might have been $86.
86? Sorry, I don't know
Yeah,
if it
but
went.
Let me have a look.
Okay, so $86. It's a bit over 50x, right? So
Non-believers, you non-believers.
50x. But Solana, the low in this cycle, I think it was $9. It was the lowest it got to. And if you put it to something like even at $500 Solana, it's a 50x. And 500 is my personal like conservative estimate for Solana. I think it will peak at somewhere around 750, 800. And at that point, it's an 80x from the bottom. So yeah, that's what I consider a big pump, like drawing from the bottom, not from now.
Hey, I just like to say, same thing. One of the wise men that I look up to say, the old Darth Vader. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
It is true. It is true.
I'm happy to be surprised. That would be
Hey,
great.
me too. Me too. Hey, listen, that'll be a good day. That'll be a good day. But anyways, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. We went pretty long today, but I mean, this is the meta now. The meta means the consistent trend. All right. Here's the deal. If you play your cards right, if you do your research, you can fucking make it happen. If you need help, book a consultation with me. Book the link in the description box below. We can get on a one-on-one call. I've generated millions of dollars in cryptocurrency sales and profits for this past bull run with you guys know I was the mastermind behind everything with the Charlie crypto thing and getting all the sales done for that. So I know this industry inside and out, and you'll get nothing but pure honesty and transparency with me, unlike other people. And we'll be back next week. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.